Thank you, Wesley.
It's inviting. Head all the way and all the way to the back. And I'm gonna get rid of it.
Cho nó lấy của your package đó tua nè. Lấy của
Carries
đi
that
bây giờ một
stick
chạy
just to
nè.
make sure everybody's polite. Thank you for off. Hello, everyone. My name is Zach. I will be your tour guide on the way uphill today. How's everybody doing? Wonderful. I'm doing fine too. Thanks for asking. No, I got a couple of ground rules on my tram, but they are very easy to follow. All you got to do is keep your arms, legs, feet, wings, and tails inside the vehicle at all times and laugh at all of my corny jokes, starting with the wings and tails joke so I don't develop confidence issues. Thank you. You're doing great. We're passing through the lower landslide path. Steve has done a beautification of his stream reclamation project by planting a lot of non-indigenous plant life like these western rhododendrons. Here on the left-hand side, we've got an indigenous plant called Devil's Club. This stuff grows everywhere and it has thorns everywhere on it. Main reason we ask you to keep your arms inside, you want to stay away from that guy there. Here on the right-hand side, this large flat boulder with the water pouring over it, that's Steve's rock. That's the rock that he was moving when he invented his upside-down tree idea and his unique anger management program. Each of these 5 ponds has a pretty important function. As the water comes downhill, any erosion that occurs further upstream has a chance to sink to the bottom of the pond, and Steve can dig that material out later with his excavator, and that prevents any of it from washing out into what?
Oh wow.
Oh wow! Hi, look. Hi, Mama. Wow. Oh, so pretty. Animatronics does such a good job with this. Right.
She's having lunch.
We've got a deer just below the 100-foot level. Hanging out on. Hi, that's the Sitka black-tailed deer. That's about as big as they get, too. Go ahead, I can wait for a second if you want to get a shot in. We do need to get moving. It's on the left-hand side. We're heading up to a total of 600 feet above sea level on the tram today, and there's going to be one of those elevation markers every so often to let you know how far we've gone. And at this point in time, we're going to veer off of the landslides path and enter into the unaffected rainforest. So we'll be looking at much more indigenous plant life now. You'll see this low-lying, large, waxy leaf plant on the left-hand side. That's called skunk cabbage. It's also known as Stinkkohl, Stinktekraut, Autumnfelic, Venucia capusta, Lysochite americana, or swamp lantern, depending on where you're into these taller shrubs that are just starting to leaf out. They kind of resemble an azalea, but they're known as a false azalea because when they bloom, their blossom hangs down. It looks like a little red huckleberry, which is where they get their second name from. Boo's huckleberry. And around this corner, we've got 3 more of the 33 upside-down trees on the property. This one closest to us on the left has a shelf fungus on the side of it called bear's bread, which the bears don't actually eat. It just has a white underside and a brown top, and so resembles the heel of a loaf of bread. Also on the left-hand side, our 5-star Squirrel Hotel and Casino. That's the highest-rated squirrel hotel on the western seaboard, the only one with a casino in the lobby. But you'd be nuts to stay there. I know, they get worse. Oh yeah, you guys didn't see the 2 of them on the way up? They were top of the mountain, so it's all natural and native forest from here on out. Oh, traffic jam? What's going on here? We're approaching our 200-foot elevation marker here on the left-hand side. Is it another deer? builds it, he lays down a boulder foundation, he puts logs on top of that. He weighs down the inside corners of the logs with more boulders so that we can drive on the outside edge, thereby widening the road. Then he lays down a weed cloth and this gravel topper mixed for a pretty smooth ride. And his routine issue. I can't actually stop on the way uphill for pictures, but I will slow roll through it. For those of you that are photographically inclined, I'd have your cameras out and on the ready. And here it is right here, Cascade Corner. Now you may have noticed that I have to hug really close to the outside edge on these. I apologize if it does. It's just the grade is so much less on the outside edge. But if you do get nervous, just do what I do. Close your eyes. You won't even notice. As we cut around this next corner, if you look off into the right, you'll see an orange tag on the side of one of these trees that denotes the border between Steve's private property and the Tongass National Forest. We're going to head down through 2 acres of the National Forest that Steve leases from the Forest Service to give us a road back down. No, we do not go up and down the same way. You can breathe a sigh of relief. And we're approaching our 500 more vertical feet to go, guys. I think we're going to make it this time. Upside down stump says it's sticking out, and a lot of times he has to build a tree's trunk in that weed cloth. He's absolutely in love with that material. There's over $2.5 million worth of weed cloth underneath all the roads, the ponds, the flower beds wrapped around the base of every upside down tree. Pretty sure he stitched himself a pillow out of some. And then you'll hold the tree upright with the arm of the excavator. He backfills around it with a side of the vehicle down on the road that we just came up. Even though I'm going to come to a complete stop, I ask that everybody please remain on the vehicle, as your safety is our #1 concern here in Glacier Gardens. You are welcome to stand up. Hey, you can even do the hokey pokey as long as you keep your left and right foot in. With the coastal mountain range framing your view about 70 miles out there. Downtown is also where the bridge spans from Juneau to Douglas Island, which will be the mountainous region straight in front of you. Douglas is mainly a residential area of Juneau, but it also houses Eagle Crest, our ski area, rated in the top 10 most rugged terrains in the United States. And the grassland area that's in between us and Douglas is known as the Mendenhall Wetlands State Game Wildlife Refuge, in which 1 million migratory birds pass each year, 70 miles off at its furthest point. Now, we don't have a lot of time up here, guys. I'm going to ask you to exit on the right-hand side, the right-hand side only, please, as we have bear traps, landmines on the left. Just exit on the right. Keep in mind, we got a whole nother half a tour ahead, and I got at least 10 more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's outside.
Wow. 여기 아무튼 올라와. 예.
Now you may have noticed the moss-like stuff hanging off all the trees up here. It is not Spanish moss, as I am frequently asked. It's actually a lichen called old man's beard and witch's hair. And
God.
it is an epiphyte, not unlike the ghost orchid. It hangs out and feeds off the moisture and nutrients in the air and is actually an excellent indication of clean air, as it can only survive in 98% pollutant-free air. Yeah, it's good stuff. Breathe deep. A lot of people think I'm saying gluten-free air edible by humans. And I'm sorry if that just spoiled your dinner plans, but the bears have discovered a use for it. I'm sure that you've heard when bears go into hibernation, they have to build up a lot of food in their digestive tract to make sure they don't starve over the course of the winter. Well, what's little talked about is they also have to build up a large plug right at the end of their digestive tract to make sure they don't lose any of that food over the course of the winter. And the way they do that is they eat a bunch of hair and rock and dirt and twigs, and they plug themselves up, and then they eat a bunch of food, and they go into hibernation all fat and happy. But it sounds like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Disaster strikes in the spring when they wake up, they're really grumpy, they're really, really hungry, and they really, really, really want to get that plug out. And that's where the skunk cabbage comes in, because the skunk cabbage is what they call an exothermic plant. It's actually able to secrete an enzyme that will melt snow and ice. We see a lot of critters on the property, obviously. We see such a black-tailed deer and our timber tigers, the Russian red-tailed squirrel. They, only get to be a little smaller than a chipmunk. I saw a gray squirrel the first time I went down south. I was like, whose dog got out? Porcupines, beavers, otters, eagles, owls, the American black bear. I've seen lynx on the property before. Lynx are pretty cool. You ever hear lynx during mating season? They sound like a couple of dudes trying to badly dub a samurai movie. They're like, wah! These two trees, when Steve found these two trees wind-fallen and he saw how tightly woven together their root system was, him being the sentimental guy he is, didn't have the heart to separate the two of them, so he flipped them upside down together. He had 6 children, but only one a girl, so Daddy's little angel Melissa got a waterfall named in honor of her, Angel Falls. Now, I am aware that Angel Falls is also coincidentally the tallest waterfall in the world. Down there in Bennett Tree here on the right, it takes over 250 annuals and perennials to cover the top of that tower. But here we are, Angel Falls, turning into more of an angel trickle recently. We've reached the portion of our tour where you get to throw your Brussels sprouts. You fry them up in butter with a little bacon, forget about it. But now they taste a bit woody. But we've got a wide variety of ferns here. We have the shield fern, sword fern, oak fern, bracken fern, lady fern, licorice fern, deer fern, fern gumbo, fern sandwiches. I got a coworker, Deb, she loves to pick berries, and she was begging Steve for years to pick the berries that grow in this section of the woods right here, because it gets absolutely loaded with them. And he finally relented last year. He said, fine, you can pick some, but you had better leave some for the guests to see. And she only left 6 berries on this bush right up here. She said, that's some. I was like, Deb, that's really rude, so I ate them. But I know our elderberries have cyanide in their seed. I'm not sure how you deal with that, so I just get your wine from the liquor store if you're so inclined. And we also have the salmon berry. Now, they don't taste like salmon. They're orange in color, and they resemble a raspberry, and the natives thought it looked like a cluster of salmon eggs hanging there. It's where they got the name for them. You can just start seeing their pink flowers here on the left.